All right. All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off this lesson by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh
Hashem,
Shai,
Yahushua,
Bahashem,
Hashem,
Rakatadash.
Yachakodash.
All right. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. And peace and mercy to the whole full elect, starting with 144,000. That's also pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the full course of the earth. All right, so once again, GMS Toronto coming at you with another live lesson. And it's going to be another edition of Doomsday Prophecies. Okay, and the title or the topic at hand, all right, is, as you see, the miracles of falsehood. All right, the miracles of falsehood. Getting into, of course, technology, AI, and how all this links to the MOTB, and as well as how the miracles that come out of Esau Edom's technology, right, the counterfeit miracles that he will be able to perform, all right, are actually going to are actually used as a form of deception. All right, this devil will use his miracles or his technology to deceive the world. Hence, the miracles of falsehood. Now, before I bring in our precept, I want to open up with, let's get the word falsehood real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Malak, say something real quick. I just want to make sure it's not echoing.
Check. Slide echo. Echo.
Seems okay on my end.
Check. There's an echo on my thing. Yeah.
There is or no?
Yeah. On me. Yeah. When I speak, I can hear myself. Repeat.
Okay. Well, just let me know when, I guess, you want to say something, and then I'll plug my headphones in. That way, you don't echo.
Con.
Anyway, so the word falsehood, okay, a compound word, false, right? False meaning, let's get the word false. Yeah, well, false, we know what false means, it just means not true, right? As it says, intentionally untrue, lying, okay? It says of religion, not of the true faith, okay? You go back to falsehood, the word together, it says what? Deceitfulness, okay? So the miracles of falsehood, this devil's miracles that he'll be able to perform via his technology, all right, is deceitful. It's set up to deceive people, not to better people, okay? As he so boldly proclaims, okay? Also a lie, that which is false, right? Pretty straightforward. Now, when you go into the word hood, okay, no, we're not talking about the ghetto. It says here, hood. It just simply means the state or condition of being. Okay, so when you have falsehood, these devils' technology and the counterfeit miracles that they promise they'll be able to produce or perform through his technology are actually just going to bring about a state of falsehood, a condition of falsehood throughout the whole earth, because everybody's going to be deceived by this man's technology. Everybody that's not of the whole full elect, they're going to be deceived by the counterfeit miracles of the devil.
That's right. Okay? Right.
Esau Edom. Now, let's go to the piece I want to open up with, and I know, Malak, you have something as well. And then we'll get right into the clips that I got. I got 2 clips.
The spirit.
Okay. And of course, always low will in this lesson be straightforward and edifying. Right. So let's go to Isaiah 30, and I'll start at 8, and I'll read this in NLT. So it's Isaiah chapter 30, verse 8 in NLT. Now go and write down these words write them in a book. They will stand until the time they will stand until the end of time as a witness, right? These prophecies.
That's right.
And how will they stand as a witness? Well, we read them in the Bible, we read them in the scriptures, and in our time, they're playing out. Okay, so that's a witness.
That's right.
It says that these people are stubborn rebels, talking about Israelites, who refuse to pay attention to the Lord's instruction, okay, to Yahweh's instructions, which are spoken by whom? The prophets of Yahweh Shem Shai, the true prophets, because you have more false teachers and false prophets than you have true prophets, showing you how precious the truth is. Okay. They tell the seers, right? The prophets, stop seeing visions. They tell the prophets, don't tell us what is right. Tell us nice things. Tell us lies. You see? And there's a lot of prophets of Israel, all right, that have joined hand in hand with the wicked, all right, to push, all right, falsehood and best of belief, and they've used Esau's technology, all these different AI prompts, all right, with these different Israelite camps. IUIC has used them to basically add even more entertainment, all right, to the ministry, when this ministry is a deadly serious thing.
That's right.
Okay, you're not just dealing with serving the Lord, but you're dealing with the salvation of your soul. Okay. So it continues on to say in verse 11, forget all this gloom, get off your narrow path. Stop telling us about your Holy One of Israel, right? Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? So the narrative here is that Israel, okay, 2/3 of them, and the rest of the world, they're not trying to hear the prophets. This is why the prophets are hated, and we're getting ready to be the true prophets at that. All right, we're getting ready to be demonized on a high level, on a global level. Okay. It says, verse 12, this is the reply of the Holy One of Israel. Okay, because you despise what I tell you and trust instead in oppression and lies. And that's the only thing Esau Edom can provide. All right.
That's
right. For you Israelites, man, you rebels. And that's the one thing you don't understand, because you got a little bit of a bag, all right, in his kingdom, which is not even crumbs off the table, what he's giving you. Okay. You think you're good. So you trust in oppression and lies. Hence, going back to the title, the miracles of falsehood. Okay. The majority of our people are going to trust in are going to take the MOZB, simply put. Why? Because they're already trusting in oppression and lies.
That's right. Okay? That's right.
And it says, verse 13, calamity will come upon you suddenly, like a bulging wall that bursts and falls. In an instant, it will collapse and come crashing down. Okay. Jacob's trouble. Okay.
That's right.
Height of Jacob's trouble. You will be smashed like a piece of pottery, shattered so completely that there won't be a piece big enough to carry coals from a fireplace or a little water from the well. So the Lord is going to completely do away with 2/3 of Israel, then bring them back, okay, in the kingdom of heaven through the whole full elect, starting with the 144,000. But 2/3 of Israel, because they rather trust in oppression and lies, all right, and give in to the miracles of falsehood, the Most High is going to kill them on this side. That's the straightforward truth of the God of the Bible. All right, who the world even calls God, and his son, Jesus Christ. The name is Yahweh, all right, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. These are two beings not to play with, not to be mocked, and not to be played with. Okay. Last verse. Or two more verses, okay. It says, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel, says. He says, only, okay, in returning to me and resting in me will you be saved. You hear that? Only in returning to Yahweh Shem Shai, which only the whole full elect are going to do that. Okay, because
right.
they're given what? They're given the gift of faith and fear, which is tied to obedience to Yahweh Shem Shai. They're gifted with that in the womb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Spirit of prophet. Spirit of prophet.
restoration,
Yep.
restoration
Beautiful.
only lies in Yahweh Shem Shai, not in Egypt. Okay,
That's
not
right.
in the miracles of falsehood. Okay, so it says, "In resting in me, will you be saved?
Mm-hmm.
In quietness and confidence. In quietness and confidence is your strength,
That's right.
but you would have none of it." You see?
Wow.
And just to finish it off, it says, "You said, no, we will get our help from Egypt. They will give us swift horses riding into battle," right? But the only swiftness you are going to see is the swiftness of your enemies chasing you.
Woo. Wow.
Okay?
Very,
So,
very beautiful. Beautiful.
yeah,
Brother.
so in the ancient world, all right, when you look at the geographical placing of Israel, you had Egypt south, and then further east, northeast, you'd have the Babylonians, and then you have the Assyrians, right? So they're in the proverbial in between a rock and a hard space. But the Most High set it up that way so that the kings of Israel would rely on the Most High instead of these heathens, okay, which are allies. Well, they made coalitions and they allied themselves with the heathens, Egypt, instead of with Yahweh Shem Shai.
Wow.
The same thing applies today. You're gonna have a lot of Israelites, like I said, 2/3, and the leaders, all right, of Israel, these false teachers and false prophets. They're gonna do the exact same thing that we're reading here in Isaiah 30 and 60. They're gonna trust in the miracles of falsehood. Just to find themselves being duped, all right, by the same enemy that they trusted in, which is Esau, Edom. That's it on that.
Oh, beautiful. So many things came in my mind. Just want to say this. Simply put, they trust in Egypt. So that means you trust in your enemy, the same enemy the Lord's going to use to turn against you, right? Jacob and Esau. And there was that problem from in the womb, and the Lord set it up that way, and He's going to play it right out to the end, and it's not going to be pretty. So, hey, you people, you Israelites out there, you keep hugging up your enemy and sleeping in bed with them. Hey, here's your reward, and the Lord says so. But anyway, going back again real quick to the title of this powerful lesson, I'm going to go to the book of Sirach. Ecclesiasticus, the 26th chapter, 28 and 29, and I'm going to read the next chapter, verses 1 and 2, because it ties in. Right from the KJV is fine. If you want to look at it from the NLT or the GNT, no problem, brother. But yeah.
What verse you at?
28. I'm going to start at 28 of that chapter 26, and I'm going to read to chapter 27, 1 and 2.
Okay. Chapter 26, you said.
Come.
All right. Go ahead.
1 second. 1 second. Let me just pull up my page. I don't know what happened there. Slack, brother. Bear with me. Yeah. Here we go. Okay, it says, this is Sirach 28. It's good. 28, verse 28, chapter 26. It says, there be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. Right? A man of war that suffered poverty. Okay. Simply put, that's, Lord, he's giving a clue in regards to the election right there. Right? He's going to make distinctions. And men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to sin. You see? It's a clear distinction there. The Lord prepared such, and one for the sword. Okay? All right. So it's going to go into it now in regards to our lesson as well. in regards to deception, okay, and wickedness. It says, verse 29, Sirach 26 and 29, a merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong, and an husker, right? And I looked up this word, it's straightforward. It's they use corn husker, but it's simply going into a merchant. Could be a merchant as well, but somebody who husks corn shall not be freed from sin, right? And here's the point. In the next chapter, we'll just go over and tie it up, verses 1 and 2. Okay. So Sirach 27. Second there. Next chapter. Yep. 1 and 2. It says, many have sinned for a small matter. You see? So yes, a lot of people are going to be selling out for a small matter. All right. They can't sell their souls, but they're going to sell all what they have. All right.
That's why, well, hey, they are selling their souls, because that's why if you take the chip, all right, the Most High has to destroy you. You can't enter in the kingdom of heaven with a chip in your body. You're no longer what the Most High made. He did not make a human being with a chip in their body.
God, yeah.
You know, so yeah. That's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just said it that way because the scripture says the soul belongs to the Lord. But yeah, got you straight.
Yeah, Con, you're right. And that's why it's folly. That's why the Most High has to kill you. Yeah, you're right.
Beautiful when you go into it. Right. And so many have sinned for a small matter, and he that seeketh for abundance will turn his eyes away. You see? So yeah, for a small matter, and it tells us this when you go into the book of Deuteronomy anyway, the 28th chapter, the lower part of it, a lot's going to sell out for a small matter. Final verse, we'll stop here. It says, as a nail sticketh fast between the loins of the stones, so doeth sin stick close between buying and selling. Okay?
Yeah.
Straight. So that's what it's going to be about.
Deception.
Yes. It's going to always be deception. And it's going to be based on this buying and selling. What are you buying? Right? You read a powerful scripture there in Isaiah that you opened up with. Yeah. That talk about the seers, right? You're telling the seers that is actually selling the right thing, that we don't want it.
Yeah.
Right? So spiritually, yeah.
It's not convenient. You know, this truth, what you're going to find is that a lot of Israelites don't find this truth to be convenient because they don't have faith. You see, what Esau does, Esau gives you convenience, all right, based upon the flesh.
That's right.
So
that's right.
It's convenience for the time being, right? And it will help you for the time being. But as the serpent said, ye will be like gods, which he was right about that. And then he said, ye shall not surely die,
That's
which
right.
he lied about that, because yes, we didn't die right away, but we ended up dying eventually. So it's the same thing with
Beautiful.
the MOTB and the miracles of falsehood that comes with the MOTB. Being able to download a language in 2 seconds, speak multiple languages. You can download the art of karate, like they did in they showed us that in
Matrix.
The Matrix, exactly.
Matrix,
yeah.
The first one, yeah.
Neo downloaded karate, and all of a sudden he could do it. These are the miracles that will come with the MOTB, the chip. All right. Hence the miracles of falsehood. Because now what is the chip gonna do for you? All right, to save you from the wrath of Yahweh Shem El Shai? Nothing, not a damn thing. Okay.
Beautiful. So doeth sin stick close between buying and selling. I must read one more because you said that. Real quick, final verse, Sirach 27 and 3. It says, unless a man hold himself diligently in the fear of Yahweh Shem El Shai, his house shall soon be overthrown. See that? So yes, the fear of the Lord. It's all about fear of the Lord. It's the beginning of wisdom. And it's given to the elect. That's the point, brother.
So I got this clip here from Jason A. Okay. Fair use, fair use, fair use. All right. This video is not being it's not being monetized. We're not making any money from this video. We're only sharing this video for educational purposes only. So fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay. And he entitled Trump makes chilling announcements. This is the end. So we're gonna go ahead and play a couple minutes in this clip, and I got a next clip, and we'll get some precepts.
Jeez.
How's the audio?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing yet.
The White House's plan to put Washington front and center in the AI race.
How about now? Audio's good?
Good.
Is it good now?
Good now. Yep.
Okay, Tom, beautiful.
Comparing what they want to do to the Manhattan Project, the research project that gave us the atomic bomb. It's called the Genesis mission, a government-wide push to fast-track AI breakthroughs in energy science and
It's obviously not a coincidence that these devils call, right? They call this
Genesis.
the Genesis mission, right? Their AI venture. As it says, Energy Department launches Genesis mission to transform American science and innovation through the AI computing revolution. And they're using the word Genesis because it's the beginning of them. This is their so-called beginning, right, of their counterfeit kingdom, right, with their counterfeit blessing, right, the counterfeit kingdom with their counterfeit blessings. So this is the beginning for them, but this is the beginning of the end. And really, we're at the end of the end. I'll say it like that. We're at the end of the end. And shalom to sincere brothers, all right, and the Akwaf, listening and learning and science. Shalom to you, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Yes, it's a beautiful precept. Let me get this real quick from the brother here. This is from GMS XQT1. Okay, but it says Proverbs 1:17, King James Version. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of a bird. Yep.
That's right.
And it's in vain because how do you catch a bird when it knows that you set a trap? Okay. But that's the point, is that these people don't see the trap being set before them. Okay. Rather, all they see is the conveniences that come from this man's pseudoscience and this man's technology.
That's right.
Okay. Let's continue on here.
with the Department of Energy at the center of it all. The plan unites AI research across 17 national labs and some 40,000 DOE scientists, creating one coordinated federal AI platform for the first time ever.
Here's a scary one. Two pioneers of artificial intelligence have sounded the doomsday alarm. They're warning that the extinction of humanity...
These guys are talking about, let's say these niggas are talking about doomsday and apocalypse, and look at them smiling. You saw that.
They don't believe what they're reading. That's what I get from it.
Could be only a few years away. The authors of the best-selling book, If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, says that as AI becomes smarter than humans, it could develop its own goals, deceive its creators, and gain power over us all. One of those authors has told a conference...
Which is what they want, because AI outgrowing its maker, deceiving its maker, what he just said. Let me just rewind that real quick.
Take your time.
Builds it, everyone dies, says that as AI becomes smarter than humans, it could develop its own goals, deceive its creators, and gain power over us all.
And that was the whole deception, all right?
One of those authors has told a conference, and
that was the whole deception behind what the serpent told Eve and Adam. Okay? That you can break free from the Most High and become like him, right? So that's the idea of AI and the technology of the MOTB. Esau Edom is promising you that you could become gods yourself through my left hand side means, right? Esau Edom's left hand means, because godhood, right, is promised to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel, right, for enduring persecution and holding faith to the very end, even if it costs them death. But Esau Edom is forwarding, okay, his technologies to bring about a counterfeit blessing.
That's
to
right.
be like
That's
God
right.
as well. Why? Because he what's it called? What's the word? He regrets giving up the birthright, but you did it anyways, and it's too late. You can't turn back the hands of time.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so let me play what he said again. But that's Esau Edom. Okay,
builds it, everyone dies, says that as AI becomes smarter than humans, it could develop its own goals, deceive its creators, and gain power over us all.
yeah, that's what
One of
these
the
devils think they're going to do with the Most High. It's exactly what they think they're going to do with the Most High.
You shall not surely die.
Surely die.
That's right.
authors has told a conference, unless governments act.
Oh, that's the brother Kazak. Oh shit, Shalom. Okay, how about you, man?
Shalom.
Oh shoot, I'm just seeing. I didn't see the 12 times 12. Shalom, Aki. How about you, man? It's a lot.
Quickly, we are doomed.
I do not expect something absolutely smart to attack us with marching robot armies with glowing red eyes, where there could be a fun movie about us fighting them.
So let's skip ahead here. Slacker. Let's go.
Wow.
We'll skip ahead to 650 here.
It's the joke that
And
he's
just listen to what these
people.
technocrats. Remember, these technocrats are considered. Yeah, that's weird. Esau Edom has you tapped up, and he has you tapped. But these technocrats, man, they're considered experts, right? Leading experts, right, in all innovations and progressions of science, right? Pseudoscience, really. So with that in mind, listen to what they're saying about what they're bringing about. And let's get to okay.
There's a lot more public-private partnerships, and that's one of the most exciting parts of the public-private collaboration.
It is scary stuff, and I think there is a higher risk than anyone is willing to tolerate. So the people building AI themselves think there's between like a 2 and 25% chance that AI kills us all by the end of the century, meaning it's probably the most likely thing to kill my kids. And that's by the people building it themselves. And most of us, from our surveys that we've done, expect AI to be about as safe as airlines. And the number of deaths from that is an absolute fraction of the risk that seems to be imposed by artificial intelligence.
So what's it going to look like, Michael, if it starts to go against us?
The scary thing is that because it's smarter than us, we don't know, and that's exactly why it would be very difficult to control. So one analogy that they use in the book is if you play the world's best chess AI, I don't know how it's going to beat me, I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know that I'm going to lose. Not even the best humans can beat that AI. And so if we have an AI that is genuinely smarter than us, we don't know how it's going to beat us. But one of the things that they talk about in the book is that COVID showed us that we're very vulnerable to viruses, and viruses can get much more deadly than COVID. And so if you have anything that has any knowledge of biology, there is a pretty decent way to attack us there.
Is there a specific tipping point that you can see coming?
The thing that most people are worried about is when AI can start doing AI research. Because if AIs can make AIs...
So these guys will openly confess to you that what we're creating, AI, we will not have control over it. That's what they're telling us. What we're creating, we won't have control over it. So right? Exactly. You should not surely die. That's the potential threat of this miracle. Because AI is a miracle, right? AI can do everything right now. Many people use it. AI is being integrated in health, is being integrated in the educational system, is being integrated in everything. And eventually it'll be integrated in the whole global economy, in every aspect of the economy. Why? Because he's going to call both small and great, rich and poor, right, to receive that mark eventually. So these devils are telling us that, hey, with AI, it's smarter than us. So how do we stop something that's more intelligent than us? Okay, and this is why I gotta get this piece of now. I'll get it now. This is why the scriptures say this. And you got Israelites, teachers, okay, leaders of Israel that say that Trump, we got to save the heathens, we got to save Esau Edom, and Trump can repent.
And that the mark of the beast doesn't exist.
Yo, anyways, man. You have to have taken the bag. So this is Matthew 24 and 21, okay, NLT. And it says here, for there will be greater anguish than at any time since the world began, and it will never be so great again. Okay, and you have all kinds of things that will play, that will be a factor in that great in that great day of anguish, which is the height of Jacob's trouble. All right, you have pestilence. All right, you have the AI apocalypse. Okay, you have famine. You have earthquakes. Don't forget about Leviathan. Okay, and then of course, World War III, the hour of temptation, and World War III. Okay, and then the return of Yahweh Shai, verse 22, it says, in fact, unless that time of calamity is shortened, not a single person will survive, but it will be shortened for the sake of Yahweh Bashim Shai's chosen ones, which are the elect. Okay, so this is why the Lord says he has to speed up the time, because this devil is creating things knowingly and telling us that, yo, we're not going to have control over this thing. So whatever it does, it does. Okay.
Wow.
That's how you know this guy has to be the devil, man.
That's right. That's straight.
Okay, so let's go back here and let this clip finish.
Smarter, then there'll be all of this we're worried about is when AI can start doing AI research. Because if AIs can make AIs smarter, then there'll be all of this pressure for the companies to use them to make their models better and better. You know, it's the fastest way to get to something that's smarter than us is to have an AI that can help improve itself. The issue is that if you hand control to an AI, to its own development, then it can, if it goes even slightly off the rails and its values are even remotely detached from our own, then it'll be really hard to keep control as it starts to become more and more powerful.
Certainly Elon Musk, before he went right off the charts, used to warn about all this kind of stuff.
You've highlighted that AI models are grown and not crafted. What do you mean by that? And does that mean a bigger risk for humans?
Yeah, so most software is crafted where each line is written deliberately by someone who knows what the instructions are doing. AI models aren't built like that. They write a piece of software where the model is trained off a whole bunch of data. And it makes it much more like raising a kid than crafting a piece of furniture, where you give it hopefully the right environment and hopefully the right stimulation and hopefully the right kid comes out at the end. But as we've seen from many examples this year, it's really unreliable. So you mentioned Elon Musk. He trained one of the world's biggest AIs recently, and a very minor change to the instructions that they gave, and it was professing itself as Hitler on the internet and talking about death to the Jews. And this is, you know, one of the world's wealthiest and smartest people trying to control something, and this would not happen with a normal piece of software where you've coded everything in, but because we're just kind of trusting the model to learn the right things from the information that we give it, it makes it much less likely that we're going to get exactly what we want, and that's what creates the danger.
Well, Michael, it certainly is a worrying thing to think about.
Yeah, with a big ass smile on her face. It's a worrying thing to think about, but they're laughing. And that's the thing, man. That's how you know this world is entrenched in darkness, right? Because people, you know, talk about, and people are talking about their own demise and laughing about it like it's not going to happen, but yet they're bringing out facts and information of how it will happen. Oh yeah, that's a good precept too. Let me get this real quick from the brother Kazak. That's exactly what they're doing. This is from Kazak, right? GMS 12 times 12. Subscribe to be edified. It says Revelation 13:3, King James Version. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. Okay, he's talking about the beast that John saw. And his deadly wound was healed, right? So that was the ancient Roman Empire coming back through Renaissance. Then they forward that Renaissance in what is called American Renaissance. Look that up. Okay. Shout out to Kazaki. Actually put me on to that. The American Renaissance. And they forward it in America. So what is America? America is that ancient Roman Empire, pagan Roman Empire, rebuilt. Instead with stones and bricks. Now they're going to use it with what? Metal and silicone, right? Technology. Okay, so what we're in right now, we're in the revival of the beast system. Okay, the revival of the beast system, which is evidently going to be the NWO, New World Order.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. The whore that sitteth upon many waters. So America. Be clear. You
got something you want to bring out? If not, I'll just move to the next.
Continue on.
All right, let's go to the next clip here. All right, so the next clip, this is also from Jason A, and it says, yeah, Trump just stunned the world, just stunned America. It has begun. And this guy on the Tucker Carlson show, he has Alex Jones on there. So let's listen to what they have to say.
Mhm.
No, we don't want to start. Okay, let's skip ahead here.
Levels with thousands of Christians being slaughtered. And US President Donald Trump is now instructing the Department of War for possible action.
Do you feel a rise? Do you feel like people are talking about God and spiritual matters more than they did 10 years ago? I mean, clearly they are. Where's that going?
I saw you with a guest a few weeks ago talk about this is well known. Talk about that's done it. I haven't done it. Almost everyone that takes DMT, either from the toad or the ayahuasca plant.
Oh, sorry. I have this on super speed.
It's all good.
Let me slow it down here. Yeah.
Now instructing the Department of War for possible action.
Do you feel a rise? Do you feel like people are talking about God and spiritual matters more than they did 10 years ago? I mean, clearly they are. Where's that going?
I saw you with a guest a few weeks ago talk about this is well known. Talk about that's done it. I haven't done it. Almost everyone that takes.
Well, what he just said, right here, a quick precept.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are in a time where everybody is diving into the scriptures, diving into their spirituality, right? Trying to find the Most High, this, that, and the third. Why? Because really of this truth, the prophesying of this truth by the prophets, starting with Abba Bivens, on down to the apostles, right? Apostle Har on down, right, to the rest of us, day in and day out, prophesying. As the Lord said, he would not let his words come back to him void. So let's get Daniel 12 and 4.
That's it. Knowledge shall increase.
That's right. That's right. So Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. And I have this in NLT. So it says, but you, Daniel, keep this prophecy a secret, right? So it was sealed. Seal up the book until the time of the end. Okay? So if everybody's diving into their quote unquote spirituality, the Bible, so on and so forth, clearly that's a sign that we're in the time of the end, right? People, now you got people going to Revelation 13, breaking it down, saying that it's the MOTB, the mark of the beast, and it's because what? As it says, when many will rush here and there, and knowledge will increase. Okay, the knowledge of the Most High will increase. This is why the elder brother from Dallas, Elder Yeshawamba, he always coins that you have the two witnesses, and then you have the third witness, which is Esau Edom telling on himself, right?
That's right. That's right.
This is Daniel 11 and 33. Real quick, it says, "Wise leaders will give." You know what? Let me get to the King James. Actually, it's not too nice here in the NLT. So Daniel's 11 and 33. It says here, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Okay, so that you have, the false teachers, leaders, and prophets of Israel, and then you got the third witness, all these economists and conspiracy theorists that go into all the conspiracies, right? All these guys, right, that bring out information on themselves as they are Edomites, right? You only see Edomites bringing out information on Edomites a lot. That's what it says. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many, yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, and by spoil many days. So when you notice, this is why we use these clips, because we'll bring the truth, all right, or tie these clips to the scriptures, showing you the scriptures, validating what the scriptures already say, not the other way around. We're not validating these people, but we're using what they're saying to validate the scriptures.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And a lot of these guys that bring out this information, like you see Alex Jones, what do you think Alex Jones is going to do with himself in that day? All right, but he's going to bring out a lot of information on these technocrats, which these technocrats serve as what? They serve as the priest, okay, of Esau, Edom on the left-hand side.
That's right.
Just
That's
like
right.
the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect, but really the 144,000, that's a governing body. They serve as well as priests on the right-hand side of Yahweh Shem Shai.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Continue on with what he's saying
Talking
here.
about this is well known. I talked about this stuff.
Clearly they are. Where's that going?
I saw you with a guest a few weeks ago talking about this is well known. I talked about this done it. I haven't done it. Almost everyone that takes DMT, either from the toad or the ayahuasca plant, these creatures show up that look like gestures or space aliens, different things, and say,
Space aliens, gestures, creatures, it's just demons, spirits. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
there are too many humans. You need to wipe out the population. Then you'll become gods. It's the same message. And they've had groups of people. They've done studies.
You need to wipe out. You need to kill people so you can become God.
Yes, you need to depopulate and you need to transcend.
Do you know people who've heard that message?
Oh, absolutely. They've had whole groups of studies that have had group hallucinations of this.
You hear that? So a group of technocrats taking DMT drugs, hallucinating, demons come to them and tell them, listen, to become gods, you got to wipe out, you got to wipe out the population. That's not a coincidence because if you know anything about the Georgia Guidestones, what do they have on the Georgia Guidestones? They have, out of the 10 commandments or 10 rules on that stone, one of them is to bring down the world population to 500 million.
That's
and
right.
there's supposedly
That's right.
8 billion people on the planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You see? So this is highly spiritual and highly wicked. This is why Ephesians 6:12 tells us what it tells us. Our battle is not against flesh and blood, right? But spiritual powers in high places, roughly paraphrasing.
That's right. That's right.
Demons are working with technocrats and telling them, listen, you're going to create AI, and AI is going to bring about this, and it's going to lead you to become gods. You see? So the deceived and the deceiver are who's? The Most High.
That's right. That's right.
People have heard that message?
Oh, absolutely. They've had whole groups of studies that have had group hallucinations of this.
I don't know. I'm not the most spiritually sensitive person. I'm hardly a theologian. But if some demon is telling you to kill people so you can become God, like, we can say that's bad, right?
Absolutely. And the people that then, you're talking about tech heads, who, microdose and are big in hallucinations and big into hallucinogenics, when they get more advanced and deep into it, and most of them have talked about this, then the things start giving them more ideas and explaining the system they're going to build, the AI, the takeover, and this new species, and how, again, you're going to transcend death. And so we've all got to have a larger question there. So they say the devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he didn't exist. I think that's the second biggest trick. I think convincing the world that good doesn't exist is the devil's biggest trick.
Yes.
You heard what he said, right? These spirits on the left-hand side, what do? They convince these technocrats, this is what you're going to do, is AI. This is how you're going to do it. So this is high level. These guys are high level warlocks and witches. Okay.
I got a precept. Right. You went into it. Okay. Simply put, you read Daniel 12:4, right? And and then you read the precept, I think, prior to that, in regards to the secrets and who it's given to. So I'm just going to go straight to the point, right? Because we always find it humorous, but this is one of the powerful precepts. Daniel 12:10. It says, many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly. So, hey, these breakdowns, these breakdowns from these people, they're whacked, because the precept that came out earlier on in regards to the secrets, it's only the prophets that's going to be able to break it down. So, as you had mentioned earlier on, man, simply put, we're not on there because of this guy speaking, right? These people speaking. We're validating from the scriptures, but we're telling you before it happens. So when we go to these third witnesses, they just tell against themselves because they're coming with lies. Simply put.
Right? Yeah, they're carnal men, right?
Yeah, they don't understand.
They're carnal men, right? So
that's right. Take your time.
So we being spiritual, we see the full picture of what they're doing. They don't see the full picture of what they're doing. Remember, the scriptures say that the pride of this devil's heart, of these devil's heart, has deceived them.
That's right. That's right. They see the twists. That's what the Lord made them see. Finishing on the verse, it says, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Okay. And this verse here, verse 11, goes into the history in regards to the beginning of the time of the end. Verse 11, and it says, from the time that the day.
Well, let them look that up. Let them look that up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, leave that. The point's made in verse 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a good precept, right? As they've been, we've been watching clips of how all these technocrats are, and even Alex Jones, they jump on a bunch of drugs, right? And so they can tap into the spiritual realm, talk to demons, and get insight from these demons, right? To bring about their miracles, pseudo miracles, counterfeit miracles, their technologies to deceive the world. So they're getting their plans from the spiritual demon Satan, man. Okay, that's why like you read, there's a beautiful precept. It says, "Many shall be purified and made white." That's the whole full elect. And it says, "And tried, but the wicked," right? Esau, Edom, and 2/3 shall do wickedly. So these devils are doing wickedly by bringing about this AI, right? And none of the wicked shall understand. So
that's right.
These devils are so bugged out. These technocrats are so bugged out that they know they're bringing about something that they will not be able to control, and they know that thing being AI is invoked and powered by demons, spirits on the left-hand side.
That's right.
Okay, but they're going ahead and doing it anyways.
Anyway.
So they don't understand what the hell they're doing, but they're going to do it because the deceived and the deceiver are Yahweh Shemel Shais.
That's right.
Okay, and they're going to fulfill their role in the Most High's movie.
Straight. The rule of the wicked.
On a little bit here. Skip a little bit ahead, and then we'll pull something out from here from chat.
Experience.
Let me know if the audio works.
Manifesting ourselves in the third dimension. That
is good.
Audio works.
Good.
Okay, beautiful.
To recognize that we are ethereal beings, that we are just manifesting ourselves in the third dimension. That all these people, they're even atheists, have these near-death experiences that come back with the same message. I mean, I personally in my life, have had so many times where I'm literally told something and it comes true and it just comes from God. And so I know this is real. We are a lot more complex than just what our eyes and ears and taste and touch pick up. And when you really actually study the globalist, none of them are atheists. They're into the occult.
Exactly.
And they believe they're interfacing, even at Skull and Bones. At Yale, they get in these coffins for days. They try to get these spirits to come into them. They try to channel these spirits. You've got the heads of Skull and Bones there in the last few days seeing who's able to interface with this. These are real rituals that are part of activating parts of the mind so that people can see past the veil. And again, they've now been able with robots and computers and wires.
See what he says? See past the veil. So remember when Yahweh Shai was crucified, right? And he gave his last breath. What was torn? The veil to where? The holies of holies, right? So the holies of holies is where the Most High would communicate with the priest. So these devils, these technocrats on the left-hand side, as I said earlier, they serve as the priesthood of the left-hand side. They take drugs, all right, to open the veil for them so they can communicate with their God, which is Satan.
That's right.
And the rest of the left-hand side spirits. But the whole full elect have access to have access past the veil to the holies of holies through the blood, the covering of the blood of Yahweh Shai and the washing of the word of Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay.
Scripture says boldly. In the spirit. Yeah,
right?
Come before the throne.
Exactly.
Come before the throne.
Exactly. So the point is that what is going on the right is exactly what they're doing on the left.
Beautiful. Straight.
Okay.
I got a precept. Real quick. Because this man's talking about like just went there and didn't hope. Just went there and didn't hope. Hey, Job 33 and 15. It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, in the slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Okay, so simply put, hey, on the left side, you're going to get left side instructions, right? Because the Lord put it there, right? Simply put, and he command his spiritual demon Satan to do his job with you wicked, right? And you just mentioned, simply put, in regards to coming before the throne, of what happens with our prayers, right? In essence, right? But yeah, so the Lord is putting instruction in there, man. You're not doing anything, buddy. You're just clay. You're just clay,
Yeah.
just like us. But for the left side, you're clay for the left side, brother.
It will clay onto dishonor and clay onto honor.
Honor. That's
right?
it. Mm-hmm.
Come. Okay, so let's continue on here.
That people can see, interface with this. These are real rituals.
That's like audio is good.
Straight. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And part of activating parts of the mind so that people can see past the veil. And again, they've now been able, with robots and computers and wires in the brain, see, interface with this. These are real rituals. You've got the heads of skull and bones there in the last few days, seeing who's able to interface with this. These are real rituals that are part of activating parts of the mind so that people can see past the veil. And again, they've now been able, with robots and computers and wires in the brain, as Elon talked about decades ago, this was already done. Your eyes narrow the light spectrum because there's so much going on that if you saw the infrared and everything else would be too confusing. But now with hallucinogens and other things, they've been able to prove that people can actually see past the veil into basically other dimensions. And
right. So with hallucinogens, people can actually see past the veil and into other dimensions, which is just simply put, it's a spiritual realm. Okay.
That's really what this is. We have to admit to ourselves that what we see and taste and touch and everything is a very small piece of actually what's going on. And that's that wider world. People have to, once they understand that there is this wider battle going on, then you realize, oh my God, God's real. I better choose God or I better choose the devil. But if people are kind of embedded into this and just grow up in it, and just with the corporate media and life, they get trained into the evil side, never knowing they really had a choice. But almost everybody, if they're given a choice early enough, will choose God that right way. The problem is,
which he's right. The system is set up so that you never come to that awakening.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do, you choose the God of this world, which is Jesus Christ. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about Yahweh, Bashir Al-Shad.
That's right.
Okay. That's why I read earlier in Daniel's 11:3 or 11:33 about how these people with understanding will also get caught up, all right, rather by either by the fire, famine, or the sword.
Sword.
They're not ultimately telling you the full truth. They're just giving you parts of it. So what he's saying is true in terms of the system, but those that wake up to the true knowledge are the hopeful elect. And Yahweh Shai has to do that. You don't do that on your own.
the system on earth knows that. So the priest class in Christianity or Islam respond to that right way.
He says the system on earth knows that. The priest class.
Problem is they really had a choice. But almost everybody, if they're given a choice early enough, will choose God that right way. The problem is the system on earth knows that. So the priest class in Christianity or Islam or Judaism, any of it, most of it's bad priests, bad churches who know the power's there, know people are looking for God, know they're seeking. So they're there basically to get the power from you instead of you basically transcending spiritually. And so that's why Christ talked about.
So in other words, in these churches and these whorehouses of many other religions, the pastors and the leaders are there set up to deceive you. They're not there to give you
relationship with God is
they're not there to give you the full truth. Okay, and then when you take that scope, that broad scope, and you narrow it to just Israelites, you got the same thing happen within the community of Israel, within the nation of Israel. You have teachers and prophets, all right, that are not giving you the truth. They're taking from you and not giving nothing back, right? Real quick, let me get this real quick.
Beautiful. Take your time. Take your time.
Scriptures say it way better than me.
Alex Jones, aka B and H. Go ahead, brother.
This is actually, you know, I never heard. I didn't read this in the NLT. Let me just see what the NLT says. Isaiah 55, okay, and 1. In the NLT, it says, "Is anyone thirsty?" This is parabolic. This is parabolic, okay? So is anyone thirsty for what? The truth, okay? Come and drink. If you have no money, come, take your choice of wine or milk. It's all free. Okay. And that's likened to what? The scriptures, the different teachings and understanding of the Bible that's taught by the teachers of Yahweh Bashim Mashai, which are also the prophets. Well, I'm gonna go back to King James. It says, "Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat." So if you have no money, how are you buying this truth? You're buying it with your time and your energy. Okay, you just can't learn the truth and then sit on your leaves, and you're not working on your relationship with Yahweh Bashim Shai. You're not working on yourself. Okay. It says, "Yea, come, buy wine, milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread?" Okay, which is what? Bread is sustenance. Okay, is needed for life, bread and water. Okay, so that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfieth not. Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, which is the gospel, the good news. Okay, and let your soul delight in fatness. Okay, so that which doesn't satisfy, all right, is talking about the false truth, all right, the false doctrines that all these different Israelites and prophets, okay, are speaking. It's not going to satisfy you. That's why when you take in their doctrine, you still commit all kinds of wickedness. Nothing changes about you. Right? The scripture, Yahweh Shai said, you make these children twice the children of hell. So you didn't make them any better. See, when you come to the real truth, right, and the fear of Yahweh Bashim Shai, that's going to satisfy you. And how is that going to show and manifest? Through your actions. Are you the same Negro before you heard the truth? Now that you have the truth? And if you are, that means you weren't really simply put, you weren't of the hopeful elect. I gotta say it like that, because many are called and few are chosen at the same time as well. You know, but the point that I was trying to hit home was that there's a lot of doctrines and a lot of understandings out there that are not going to help you in the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, and one way to really know that is, are they teaching the true names of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai? Okay. Let me just finish up this clip and then we'll get into some precepts.
Personal,
Yes.
basically transcending spiritually. And so that's why Christ talked about the relationship with God is personal.
Yes.
And the kingdom of God is within us. The New Agers go, oh, you are God. No, kingdom of God is within us.
Yeah, which the kingdom of God, kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai, is this knowledge. It starts with this truth. So if you don't have this truth, you don't have the kingdom of Yahweh Bashim Shai in you. Okay. All right. So let me some precepts here. Yeah, it's a good precept too. Let's get this one here. Psalms. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's a good precept. Again, from GMS 12 times 12. This is Psalm 64 and 8. Okay, through 10. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them." Let me just pull it up here. All right, Psalm 64. All right, 8 to 10. And it reads, So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. That's right. And all men shall fear and shall declare that the work of Yahweh, and shall declare the work of Yahweh, Bashim El Shai. for they shall wisely consider his doings. Okay? The righteous shall be glad in the Lord Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. That's right.
That's right.
Why?
That's
Because
right.
they've always had the truth. Okay? They've always had the truth, and they maintain their faith and their obedience to Yahweh Bashim Shai, even when things, especially when things were looking rough. Okay? Because, maybe I might do a part 2 to this Doomsday prophecy, but there's the next clip, all right, that I have that goes into how when this chip comes out, man. Yeah, Elon Musk is always high on drugs. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
When all these technocrats, man, they're all drugged up to the max.
Yep. From all that invoking.
That's right. I forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay. Let me get to this here. Now, this is from chat. Okay, concerning. Let me read the precept first concerning Isaiah 47. So this is what Isaiah 47 goes into. All right, Isaiah 47, and let's start at 10. I'll read down to 14. And I'll do this in NLT. So Isaiah 47 and 10, it reads, "You felt secure in your wickedness. No one sees me, you said, but your wisdom and knowledge have led you astray. And you said, I am the only one, and there is no other. So disaster will overtake you, and you won't be able to charm it away. Calamity will fall upon you, and you won't be able to buy your way out of it, buy your way out. A catastrophe will strike you suddenly, one for which you are not prepared." Okay, so the Most High is putting the spirit on these devils, these technocrats, to bring about an AI apocalypse. But the Most High is also saying that on top of what I'm putting the spirit on you to do, I'm going to bring about even more things that you won't even be prepared for. Okay?
Multiple crises.
Multiple crises. That's right. Polycrises.
Matthew, you read it. Matthew 24.
Matthew 24. Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
24. Touching on.
Verse 12, it says, Isaiah 47 and 12, "Now use your magical charms. Use the spells you have worked at all these years. Maybe they will do you some good. Maybe they will make someone afraid of you. All the advice you receive, now it makes sense, because who were they receiving the advice from? The demons." Right?
That's right.
Alex Jones is going into how these technocrats take drugs, DMT, hallucinogens, and they see beings that tell them about AI and how you should build it, and how they should destroy humanity so they become gods, so on and so forth, right? So you're getting advice from the left-hand side. It says, all the advice you received has made you tired. Where are all your astrologers? Those stargazers who make predictions each month. Let them stand up and give you and save you from what the future holds. But they are like straw burning in a fire. They cannot save themselves from the flame. Okay? You will get no help from them at all. See? So the miracles of falsehood. Because what are they bringing about? These technocrats. They're bringing about technology and ultimately, right, the MOTB, right? But guess what? It says you will get no help from them at all. So the MOTB, ultimately, and the miracles that come from it are really going to be a snare onto those that take it.
That's right.
It's not going to help you at all. Okay? Especially when the whole Follett come back down, New Jerusalem coming out of heaven, coming from heaven, okay, out of them chairs to establish righteousness on earth. Okay, what's the chip going to do against the whole elect? It says, their hearth is no place to sit for warmth. Okay, so there's no comfort. There was no comfort. Okay, there's no comfort in this system, in these people's technology, and in their counterfeit miracles, man.
Straight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was right. He mentioned it was given, right? It was given to them to take peace from the earth. Yeah. And that's what they've done. They've been given power to take peace from the earth. And they're telling us that they're gonna do it. We're gonna create AI, we're gonna establish it, but we have no control over it. So if it becomes it becomes more intelligent than us, hey, brace yourself, right? So I got this here from chat.
Wow.
I'm going to what I just read in Isaiah 47. Okay, and I'll just get some couple points from it. So it says here, Babylon's sin wasn't simply idolatry; it was trusting human and demonic knowledge over divine wisdom. Slake. Babylon's sin wasn't simply idolatry; it was trusting human and demonic knowledge over divine wisdom. The Chaldeans were masters of what we call applied metaphysics, astrology, numerology, enchantments, pharmacology, drugs used in rituals, you see, and wisdom systems to manipulate reality. They used the knowledge as power not to serve Yahweh, Bashim al-Shai, but to dominate men. Okay, so here it says what? Modern parallels, the technocratic enchanters. It says ancient Babylon, Isaiah 47, astrologers and prognosticators read the heavens to predict and control events. Modern Babylon, technocratic world, data scientists, economists, futurists read algorithms and models to predict and control society. All right, the core parallel. It says both use knowledge systems to foretell and shape the future, to maintain control and authority. Right, so let's skip down. Sorcerers and enchanters. Yeah, okay, I'll read that. It says sorcerers and enchanters of the ancient Babylon used ritual symbols and chants to bend the masses to their will. It says media engineers, right? Modern day Babylon, media engineers, propagandists, and behavioral scientists use psychology, algorithms, and media saturation, right, to enchant the public mind.
Sorcery.
Right? Yeah, exactly. The and media saturation. That's why you get a lot of news. You get, you get a lot of news. Alternative media, alternative news. You get a lot of alternative news. Right? But anyways, it says parallel. Enchantment has become digital. Screens are the new altars. Okay? So your screen, when you're talking to chat, that's an altar. When you're talking to chat, you're talking to a demon, you're talking to an idol. All right, but that's okay. I mean, you have to use the world, not abuse it.
Yeah,
so let's skip down.
to dance with the devil.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to dance with the devil. So this is now skip it down. It says drugs and potion, pharmakia, root of pharmacy, used to open spiritual sight. Psychedelic tech, DMT, LSD, microdosing, AI-assisted spiritual communication, and Silicon Valley's machine systems and mysticism. Right? So in ancient Babylon, what do they use? They use potions, right? It says pharmakia used to open spiritual sight. And that's what they're doing today, right? They use psychedelic tech, DMT, LSD, microdosing, AI-assisted spirit communication, and Silicon Valley's machines mysticism. And the parallel between the both is same portal seeking impulse, right? They're seeking to see behind the veil into the spiritual realm. So the same portal seeking impulse to merge man with spirit, often bypassing God, which is Yahweh, All right. And it says here, idols and graven images, the physical representation of gods worshipped for power. And this is in ancient Babylon. Modern Babylon, aka America, it says AI and transhumanism, digital images infused with intelligence, worshipped as saviors of humanity. The parallel is same idolatry, new materials, the image of the image that speaks, Revelation 13 and 15, finds eerie echo here.
Image that speaks. That's right.
That's right. That's right. Now, I have this. I'm not going to get everything here, but it says modern enchantments, the sorceries of the technocratic age. So let's go to this. There's a lot here, but
we're going to do the part two.
Yeah, well, yeah, we might do a part two, but I'm gonna just deal with point 3 and point 4. So point 3 says technological alchemy, where Babylon mixed metals and herbs, the modern alchemist mixed code and consciousness. AI development, transhumanism, and brain interface technology are efforts to transcend mortality. So his counterfeit blessing, right? To become his way of becoming God's, right? His way of achieving the blessing that the Most High gave to Jacob is via the chip, is via transhumanism, which is really just eugenics. When you go into it, eugenics, right? Getting rid of a certain people and making an ultimate race, a perfect race. That's only promised to the Israelites, all right? Via the Holy Spirit and the promises of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Okay. So it says, a modern Tower of Babel, rebuilt in silicone and steel. Point number 4, pharmakia, Revelation 18 and 23. The Greek word pharmakia, sorcery, literally means drug-based deception.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. Modern psychedelics, often promoted as tools for higher consciousness, mirror ancient Babylonian and Egyptian methods of contacting spirits or gods. You see? So this place, America, aka Babylon, aka Egypt, okay, as the scriptures say, spiritually called Egypt. All right, this place is invoking all the works and the practices of the ancient empires before it. That's why in Revelation 17, the mother of all harlots, Mystery Babylon, the mother of all harlots.
That's right.
It says many Silicon Valley elites, intelligent operatives, and even policy shapers are known to microdose. So it goes far beyond your technocrats, your politicians, your presidents, right? Your leading experts in every faction of a society are microdosing or participating in anthropogenic rituals. Anthropogenic rituals, which means what? Spiritual experiments through chemistry.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Last point here. So it says spiritual parallels, old spirits, new vessels. These are not new powers, only new instruments. The same spirit that whispered to the astrologers of Babylon now whisper through silicone and code. Okay. The spirit of Babylon seeks self-deification, right? Make yourself a god. The spirit of Babylon seeks what? Self-deification. I am, and no one else is beside me. Isaiah 47 and 8.
That's right.
It thrives in knowledge divorced, okay? Knowledge that's divorced from righteousness. Hence, it's not wisdom. Why? Because the knowledge of wickedness can teach you to fear the Lord. But that's what they want. They don't want knowledge that puts them in a place to fear the Lord. They want knowledge that puts them in a place to break away from the Lord. Rebelliousness. That's why they're into witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It says it produces arrogance in rulers and blindness in the masses.
That's right.
Thus, technocracy is sorcery with circuits. It manipulates reality through unseen systems, hypnotizes through spectacle, and replaces divine wisdom with artificial intelligence.
That's right.
That's
The,
right.
the pride of thy heart does deceive thee.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
All right. So this is my last precept here. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians 2, and I will start from 4 in NLT and read down to 12. So it says, he will exalt himself. Oops.
That's right. That's right.
So it says, he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call God and every object of worship, right? So he's trying to recreate everything that was created under the authority of the Most High through Yahushua and the Hopeful Elect. He's trying to recreate everything in his own image. That's what the MOTV will do. The mark of the beast, which is a RFID chip, will, if you take it, okay, you are now created in Esau Edom's image, not the Most High's image. Okay, so it says he will even sit in the temple of Yahweh, Bashim Shah, claiming that he himself is Yahweh. Okay, Bashim Shah, and we know how he's done that through iconoclasm, right? Perverting the doctrine and perverting the truth through education and religion and other false leaders and so on and so forth. But he's taking it home through this technology. Okay, through this technology, he's going to perform counterfeit miracles, things that Yahweh Shai already did, but he's doing it by left-hand side means.
Great.
Okay,
Right inside your mind.
Exactly. So therefore, by doing these things, he's saying, listen, you don't have to rely on prayer and miracles. Rely on my science and miracles, my science and technology. Don't rely on the Most High. So by being able to perform counterfeit miracles, he's saying that he's better than the Most High. You don't need to rely on the Most High. I can do what he does. Just take the chip. Okay. Verse 5, it says, don't you remember that I told you about all this when I was with you? And you know what is holding him back. For he can be revealed only when his time comes. And this is the time. Okay. That's why he's being revealed, even by his own fellow Edomites. It says, for this lawlessness is already at work secretly, right? And it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way, right? Which is the Most High, all right? At the time of Paul, they didn't, the Romans were just the Romans. They weren't being called Edomites. But now, right, the Most High has opened up the mind of the hopeful elect, starting with, the prophecy of Abba Bivens on down. And now the Most High has given this devil the time to rule. He's been given the earth to rule so he can fulfill prophecy, right? And then later, be met by Yahushua and be destroyed. So it says, then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him, right? Which is talking about the truth, the breath of his mouth, and also the laser beams, and destroy him by the splendor of his coming, the chariots. This man will come and do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. Right? It's technology. It says, by the way of this technology, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction because they refuse to love and accept the truth that will save them. So Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, will cause them to be greatly deceived, and they will believe these lies. You see? They're going to give in to the miracles of falsehood. Okay, just to find out that it was falsehood when it's too late. Okay, then they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. Okay,
Straight. Wow. If you hold on to any of this man's deception in your mind, man, you're done.
that's right.
It says right there, the Lord says to his prophet, the temple of the Lord, right? He's even going to come in there, right? And if he comes with any of these deceptions and you embrace them according to what was taught to you in spirit and in truth, you don't stand a chance. So yes, resist the devil and he shall flee. In the spirit, yeah, that's it. But that's all I got, and that's straight.
Yeah, that's it. That's the lesson, man. Lord willing, this was straightforward and edifying to the whole full elect of the nation of Israel. All right, the miracles of falsehood. We're going to close by giving all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, double honor for the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well, all right, and have taught us this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the whole full elect, one of the 144,000, okay, as well as the innumerable multitude, right? Peace and mercy to you, okay? Abba Ball, Kwama Sha'ala, and Shalom to the whole full elect.
Shalom to the whole full elect.